Hi everyone, my name is Chandana. I'm from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Currently, I'm pursuing my graduation in 7th Sem ECE. Subject is Computer Networks and presentation on insight of OSI reference model and TCP IP suite model. First, we will move on to the OSI model, that means Open System Interconnection Model. Is a conceptual model from the International Organization for a Standardization, that is ISO, that provides a common basis for the coordination of standard development for the purpose of system interconnection. In the OSI reference model, the communication between systems are split into 7 abstract layers. First one is physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. The, the model partitions the flow of data in communication system into 7 abstract layers to describe networked communication from the physical implementation of transmitting bit across a communication medium to the highest level representation of data of a distributed application. Each intermediate layer serves a class of functionality to the layer above it and is served by the layer below it. Classes of functionality are released in a software development through all standardized communication protocols. The development of OSI model started in late 1970s to the support emergency of the diverse computer networking method that were competing for application in the large national networking efforts in the world. See, OSI protocol was in the 1980s. The model became a working product of the Open System Interconnection Group at the International Organization for Standardization. While attempting to provide a comprehensive description of networking, the model failed to general reliance during the design of the Internet, which is reflected in the less prescriptive inter-protocol suite, principally sponsored under the auspices of the Internet Engineering Task Force, that is IETF. In the early and mid 1970s, networking was largely either government sponsored, that is NPL networking in the UK, Apprent in the US, Citadels in the France, or vendor developed in proprietary stands such as IBM's system networking architecture and design equipment corporations. DECnet public data network were only just beginning to emerge, and these began to use the X.25 standards in late 1970s. OSI had two major components: an abstract model networking called the Basic Reference Model or 7-layer model, and a set of specific protocols. The OSI reference model was major advance in the standardization of network concepts. It promoted the idea of consist model of the protocol layer, defining the interoperability between network device and software. The concept of 7-layer model was provided by the work of Charles Bachman at Honeywell Information System. Various aspects of OSI designing evolved from experience with the NPL network. ARPANET, Citadels, EIN, and the International Networking was a group IFIP WG6.1. In this model, a networking system was divided into layers. Within each layer, one or more entities implement its functionality. Each entity interacted directly only with the layer immediately beneath it and provide a facility for use by the layer above it. Second one is TCP model. Actually, what is TCP model? Means the TCP or IP model refers to the transmission control protocol or internet protocol model. This model is a part of network domain designed specifically for overseeing efficient and error-free transmission of data. The model works on the four-layer architecture model, where each layer implicit the required network protocol and the data to be transmitted, which remodules the data to the most optimum structure for efficient transmission over the network. In these tutorials on what is TCP IP model is, you will understand the working of each layer in detail to better understand the functioning of the model. A prerequisites layer of the OSI model. To understand the OSI model, it is the first necessary to understand the concept of layering. Layering is a technique used in computer programming to divide a complex problem or system into a smaller, more manageable parts. The OSI model is a seven-layer model that divides the complexity of network communication into seven smaller, more manageable parts, each responsible for a different aspects of the communication process. The seven layers of the OSI model are physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. Features of the TCP or IP model. Below mentioned are some of the features that makes TCP or IP model stands out in the network concepts. The TCP or IP model is among one of the most important network concept that contributes to working of apprehend. The TCP or IP model comprehends for four layers: the network access layer, the internet layer, transport layer, and application layer. Going from bottom to top, the network model is implemented during network and communication related issues. Communication between different model of network devices is possible through application of various layers. How does TCP or IP model works? The TCP or IP protocol suite is a set of communication protocol used to connect hosts on the internet. At the transport layer, TCP provides a reliable byte stream service to applications. In the same order in which it was sent, TCP was several mechanisms to provide this service, including sequence numbers, acknowledgements, and timeouts. Difference between OSI and TCP or IP reference model. OSI model is a generic model that is based upon the functionalities of each layer. TCP or IP model is a protocol-oriented standard. OSI model distinguishes the three concepts, namely service interface and protocols. TCP or IP does not have clear destiny, distinction between these three. OSI model gives guideline to how communication needs to be done, while TCP and IP protocols layout stands on which the internet was developed. So, TCP or IP model is a more practical model. In OSI, the model was developed first and then the protocols in each layer were developed. In TCP or IP model, the protocol were developed first and then models was developed. The OSI has seven layers while the TCP or IP has four layers. So thank you all.